Welcome to Fayfinders, a Dungeons & Dragons podcast navigating listeners into the vague and supernatural. My name is Kai, and I will be your dungeon master for campaign Amnesia. And with me, I have the amazing Amnesia.
Hello, hello.
I have the joyous Jupiter.
Hello.
The kind Caitlin.
Hello. Welcome.
And of course, the stupendous Sam.
Hello.
Now, with introductions out of the way, let's see what we can remember. All right, guys. So, to give a quick recap of last session, you guys, following Deirdre's plea, as she appeared to a dream to Solene, headed back towards Vestierg, and you were able to procure a ship and set sail across the sea, leaving the mainland of Mirdolm behind for now. While aboard, you used the sign of a kraken to distract the crew, while Farron slipped into the captain's quarters to rob his chest. The rest of the day goes by pretty uneventful as the day slips into night. And Nisha tries to contact her sister, unaware that Nia has been following Deirdre downstairs to where Nisha sat. After a brief chat with your sister and a little bit of reassurance, or more questions, you all retire for the night and are awoken to the crew scrambling above deck, someone screaming, "Pirates!" And that is where we left you. So, you guys all scramble awake, and I'm gonna need you all to roll initiative.
Let's go.
I just realized I don't know what my hit points are and it's stressing me out.
No. Yeah, that's a little bit.
I got 18 plus whatever.
18. Okay, so Solene, your initiative is 0, so it'll just be your standard 18.
Okay. Oh, so I have like no dexterity? Oh no.
Yep.
I rolled a 12 for Nisha.
Okay, so Nisha, your initiative is +2, so for a total of 14. Okay, Farron?
You know, when you know yourself and when you learn about yourself, it takes time. You have to take it slow, and it's not a quick process. And so, Farron, in learning about himself, he's rolled a 2 with a +3 for a total of 5 initiative.
And we wanted him to go first.
It's okay. He can assess the situation.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
all right, and Nia, what did you roll?
Nia rolled a 4.
Okay.
I don't know what my initiative is.
And so your initiative is actually a -1.
What?
So very, very not dexterous. Got it.
Oh no, me too.
I love that we rolled in descending order.
That worked out literally perfect, didn't it?
It kind of did, actually. All right. So, you guys are going to need to get up to the top of the deck. You can hear the wages of war, basically, upstairs or up on the upper deck. You can hear the clang of metal on metal. You can hear a couple gunshots being fired. There is already quite the battle going on. So, Celine, you are top of the order. I assume you're just going to use your full movement to get upstairs?
Yes. And I would like to, if possible, use a free action to pat myself, like pat my arms and stuff and be like, I wonder how much damage I can take and wonder if I could get my AC.
Nope. You have no idea.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. I would like to gaze up at the moon, and I would like to try and channel this lunar power and see if I could cast a moonbeam on the closest pirate that I can see, if I can do that.
So, you kind of focus and you call on the moon. You know where this kind of power comes from for you. And you get the sense that it just doesn't quite click with where your power currently sits.
Okay. I then would like to, if I can, if that doesn't count as a turn because it didn't happen.
No.
Okay.
I'll say it doesn't count.
Bless you. Thank you. Can I just see, I'm stressed. Can I, focus on the closest pirate to me and just think, I want my friends to be safe. I want these pirates off the ship.
Okay.
Can I hurt them to make them leave? And see what comes out.
Okay. Sure. I will take that. Roll a d20.
Okay. 10.
10? Okay. Sounds good. All right. Sure. I'll say that works. So, as you kind of reach your hand out and focus on that idea of just wanting your friends to be safe no matter what, all of a sudden, you feel this well of power just kind of pull from the middle of your chest out through your fingertips. And the pirate that you were looking at vanishes.
Oh. I really said yeet.
Yeah, you really did. And the crew member who was fighting with this pirate kind of like stops and looks and just looks back at you and just rushes to another pirate who's engaged with one of his fellow crewmates.
I'm just gonna smile and be like, yep, that's my turn.
All right, sounds good. Next on the order is Nisha.
Anisha would use her full movement to get as close to the nearest pirate as she could, and then as like a point of intimidation, she's going to slowly draw her katana out of its sheath, and visually what they see is what looks almost like ash falling from the sheath as she pulls the katana out, and then when it hits its full extent, it almost just ignites, and visually they just see this fire blade in Nisha's hand, and her head is ready, and she's just making eyes at the nearest pirate, try me.
The closest pirate to where you would be able to reach coming up these stairs here would be this kind of stout dwarf, what you would assume is a woman. She is carrying 2 axes in her hand, and she kind of turns and looks at you and raises one. Are you going to make an attack against her?
I sure am.
All right, so roll your d20.
You boarded the wrong ship. 16 plus 2 for 18 to hit.
Awesome. Okay, that definitely hits. So go ahead and roll your damage.
4. 1d8 slashing. Yeah, 4.
Perfect. Okay, 4 points of damage. So you take that leap forward and kind of swing your weapon down, and you see like it does kind of clip her, and the fire almost like sears as it cuts, and she kind of grunts and takes like a half a step back and looks at you, all like growling herself. Now it is going to be the pirate's turn. So Nisha, the pirate that you're engaged with, is going to take an attack against you as she swings back. Ooh, okay. That is a 15, which is going to hit you. So that's 9 points of slashing damage to you as she swings one of her axes down that she had brandished before. All right, and then the rest of the pirates are going to go. So, okay. And, okay. And, cool. All right. So you can see that there's definitely a lot of like trading of blows between the pirates and the rest of the crew, but everyone is still holding strong. Everyone's still like kind of just hacking away as best as they can, and there's no one doing too poorly yet from what you can kind of make out at this time. That brings us to Farron.
Alrighty. Are there any pirates that are sort of, say 3 pirates that are within a relatively close proximity to each other?
There are, however, keep in mind that there is also the crew members that are engaged with these pirates as well.
Okay. I'm going to, first of all, get my soul bond short bow, and then I'm going to shoot an arrow at one of the pirates that is relatively close to other pirates, and it is going to split fractally if I...
Yeah, go ahead and roll an attack.
Is it also a +1 bow, or no?
It is, yes. Actually, your soul bonded bow is a +2.
+2, great. Wonderful. That is a 24 to hit in that case.
Yeah, that'll definitely hit.
Okie dokie. And it does 1d8 damage to the first one that I hit. So that is going to be 5 plus 3. That's going to be 8 damage on that one. And then it does half damage rounded up to the others. So that is 5 damage to the other 2.
Perfect. All right, sounds good. So 5 damage to that. Okay. So Nisha and Soline, you just see Farron come running up, and out of nowhere, this beautiful kind of green energy bow appears in his hands. And as he pulls back, this kind of almost like a crackling energy arrow forms within the actual bow itself as he pulls, and as it releases, you can see the first one hit, and it's almost like it goes through that person and fractures off into 2 other arrows that hit 2 more pirates behind it.
And I have a second attack, correct? Like I get extra attack? Yes, wonderful. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna shoot at the same individual and try to split my arrow.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, this time it is a 17 to hit, which is
17 still hits.
okay. Okay, so it is going to be 11 damage to the first one.
Okay.
And then 7 damage to the other two.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so as you fire off the second arrow, you can see that the first one is actually looking pretty hurt. And if anything, he's probably not going to survive the next attack, whether it be from one of your party members or one of the crew members. The other two are looking a little hurt themselves, but they're still kind of engaged with like a crew member as it is. So while they're really pissed off that all of a sudden these arrows are starting to pierce into them, they've got better things to worry about in front of them at least.
Yeah. Perfect.
All right. Is that your turn?
Yes, that's my turn.
Okay. Nia, it is your turn.
Okay, so she comes running up the stairs, and kind of takes a look around at what's happening. Is there anyone that seems like they're in particularly dire straits that she can see?
As far as like crew members go, or as far as like the pirates that are attacking?
Crew members, the party, the people on our side that we want to win.
Not particularly, no. The crew is definitely holding their own. You can see there's quite a few that have like cutlasses. There's a couple that have guns and are kind of shooting like either up from the poop deck or from a little bit more of an elevated area on the sides of the ship. But yeah, no one looks dire yet, other than the one pirate that Farron has been picking on.
Okay, Nia will just kind of find the pirate that's closest to her, and kind of like concentrate for a moment on that, like the magic feeling that she's had, and just kind of lift her hand up towards the nearest pirate and just kind of be like, I need them to stop, and kind of hope something happens.
I'm gonna say roll a d20.
You gotta be kidding me. That's going to be a natural one.
Oh, Nia, those dice are banned now.
Yeah, for real. That was even a different dice than the one I rolled initiative with.
They're done.
In that case, I'm gonna say that while you're kind of concentrating on that feeling, you're kind of hoping for anything to happen, and for a moment, it feels like nothing happens. And for that moment, you're just like, come on, please. I really, really, really need something. I need to help my friends. And you're concentrating so much that your eyes have closed, and you feel this tug at your chest. And as you open your eyes, there is a large, kind of spectral person that is standing on the deck now. And like, they're huge and they've got giant wings of light, and they don't have any specific features, but they definitely do have this gleaming sword in their hand, and are kind of standing there stoically. So, this is Guardian of the Faith, if anybody does want to know the spell. Basically, any creature that is hostile to you that moves within 10 feet of this guardian for the first time on a turn must succeed on a dexterity saving throw. If it fails, it takes 20 radiant damage, or half as much on a successful one. And when the guardian vanishes... Oh, the guardian vanishes when it has dealt a total of 60 damage. So keep that in mind. But that being said, when it does come turn to the pirates, there are quite a number of them that are standing around this guardian. That is your cast. Is there anything else you would like to attempt to do? I don't actually know if you have any bonus.
I'll probably just, since I came up right behind Farron, just kind of move over to be near him.
Sounds good. All right, so back to the top of the order.
Can we know how many pirates are on the ship? Can I peruse the selection?
Sounds like you're shopping. I'd like to peruse my selection.
like picking out apples at the grocery store.
I want to pick your pirate day.
At a quick glance, there's more than 5. If you do want to actually, count how many there is, it is going to take your action to perceive and, actually kind of assess the situation.
No, more than 5 is good.
Okay.
I'm not going to stand there and count them 1, 2... Oh, shoot, I lost count. What? No, we're not doing that. I would like to try to whatever's closest to me, see if I have fire. The green fire thing go poof. Can I...
Green fire thing go poof?
Yeah, can I burn kingdoms to the ground?
Roll a d20.
Okay. 15.
15. Okay. How many pirates are you trying to, affect with this spell?
Absolute maximum capacity.
Okay.
However many. If I can see all of the more than 5, if I can see 5 that this will work on, then let's say it for a whole number is 5.
Okay. I'm going to say, with your roll and with what is available on your spell roster to you, you can affect 3 of them.
Okay. I'll
with
take it.
Shatter.
I love Shatter. Yes. At what level am I casting this?
I am going to say, because of your roll, you can cast it at either 3rd or 4th level.
Let's do 4th. Let's just absolutely shatter. I love Shatter.
Okay.
I'm
Keep
a
in
bard at
mind
heart.
that if you do cast it at 4th level, that will be your last 4th level spell slot.
Okay, that's okay.
Okay. All right, go ahead and roll.
Oh, I'm so excited! Okay, 27.
27. Okay.
Yeah!
Amazing. So you kind of reach out and there's this loud noise, and for a second, you think there's thunder and lightning going on, but you don't see the lightning, you just hear the thunder, and it almost makes your ears ring painfully. And then suddenly this energy erupts in the center of the ship, and 3 of the pirates go flying to the ground. One of them actually goes overboard as this damage takes place. So 2 are down, and 3 is down. One's overboard drowning.
Oh my gosh. I just stand there and you see me look so intense, very Avenger style glaring, and just like hands out at my side like Scarlet Witchy, and you can see little like electrical pulses going through as I call down this booming thunderous sound, and I'm gonna stand there and look cool, and then yeah, that's my turn. Thank you very much.
Okay, perfect.
I'm so excited. I love this.
All right. So, Nisha, you are next. There are 2 pirates directly in front of you, and you gather there's probably about 2 or 3 more behind you.
Nisha is going to grab her katana with her second hand, getting a really good grip, and she's just going to swing as hard as she can at that dwarven pirate in front of her. For a 19 to hit.
19 is definitely gonna hit.
For 6 points of slashing damage.
Perfect. All right, sounds good.
Does Nisha feel like she can slash again?
Yes, now that you're getting a little bit more used to what's going on, you're kind of using the momentum to your ability, or to the best of your ability, and you may slash again.
Amazing. So the way Nisha would love this to connect is she's going to, through the front of the torso, change her blade and try to go back through the same slice she just did.
Okay, amazing.
For a dirty 20.
Dirty 20, nice. All right, go ahead and roll your damage.
And that one was 7 points of slashing.
7 points. Okay, perfect. So you take your slash and instantly just kind of turn it and use the momentum to come back up. And you watch as this dwarf's eyes roll back into their head and they just fall backwards without a sound. And they are unmoving.
Guys, look at us go. We're so powerful.
It's almost like we're level 12.
It is almost like we're level 12. We're just cool. We're just really good at this.
Now it is time for the pirates and the crew to go. So, okay, one of the crew members has fallen.
One of our crew?
And
Which crew?
One of the pirates has
Don't
fallen.
let it be Steve.
Yeah, what's their name? What's their name,
Okay.
Kai?
Yeah.
Give a name to this
One of
NPC.
the-
Dylan!
Dylan died?
Their name was Dalen, okay?
No, Dylan!
Oh,
Dylan
come on.
died.
Oh, no.
Dylan
What do
was
you
the
mean?
cook.
No, we're gonna starve.
He was. We'll save him. Somebody get
I thought he was good with
revived.
knives.
Yeah, he was.
Dylan!
All right. Farron, you're next.
Okay, sorry. You said how many pirates are remaining?
So there is 2 left.
Okay.
In front of you, and probably about 2 or 3 behind you.
I am... You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm gonna shoot. I'm gonna turn around and try to shoot at the 3 behind me, shooting at the one in the middle, so that hopefully my arrow can split and get them all.
Okay,
Okay.
go ahead.
Come on, don't fail me now. Okay, that is a 28 to hit.
Yeah, that'll definitely hit.
Okay, and then that is a 5 plus 3, 8 for damage, and then so 8 on the one in the middle and 5 on the 2 on either side.
Okay,
And
perfect.
then-
Sounds good.
As long as they're all still standing, I'm gonna shoot again.
Yes, they are. Go ahead.
Already, that's a 14 to hit this time.
You know what?
Yeah.
14 is still gonna hit.
Ooh.
Nice.
These pirates, they gotta get better armor.
They really do.
And then this time it's just going to be, it's going to be 7 damage on the one in the middle, and another 5 on the 2 on either side.
So the initial one is dead. He's going to fall over. The other 2 are looking very, very hurt. Okay, and that brings us to Nia. So, hold on. I am big dumb. JK, there's only 2 pirates remaining because a lot of them were standing around Nian's Guardian. And I forgot. Hold on. Let me see how much damage they take. Okay, well that one succeeds.
I thought they maybe just died from Celine.
Okay, so 1 succeeded, 1 failed, 1 succeeded, and okay, so 3 succeeded, 1 failed. So so there's basically 2 pirates left. It's just the 2 that Farron is picking off. So, Nia.
Okay. Would I have seen the crew member go down?
Yes. You would have been able to see the crew member. He's roughly about, I would say, 25 feet from you, just on the other side of the ship.
Would I be able to reach him in 1 turn?
Yes, you would.
Can I go over and, like, kind of be panicking? She's panicking a little bit, and kind of, like, puts her hands on him and be like, to whoever she's been speaking to in her dream, just being like, help him, please.
Okay. Roll a d20.
Okay, we're on the 3rd d20.
Third time's the charm. There you go.
18!
18. Okay. Amazing. Roll 68.
Is this Revivify? Did we save Dylan?
23.
23 points. Okay. So as you are kind of focusing, again, you feel that magic kind of rise and flow from your fingertips into Dylan. And he kind of gasps and sits up and looks at you and is like, "Oh, thought I was a goner there. Thank you." And it just gets up and starts going back, hacking away at the rest of these pirates. All right. So
Yay!
you saved Dylan. Congrats. And that is
We should adopt him.
Yay, Dylan!
that is cure wounds. So he wasn't dead. He was unconscious. But yes, you did cure wounds him.
Rapidly approaching death.
Yes. All right. So, 2 pirates left. Celine.
I'm also gonna say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Are they close enough together that I could cast Shatter at a 3rd level and reach both of them?
They are, but you're gonna kind of have to... It's gonna be a little bit hairy because they're kind of up against, like, the captain's quarters. So you do have the ship right behind them. But then you've also got crew members in front of them. So hitting them and not hitting something else is going to be a little difficult.
Hey, property damage, schmoperty damage.
Is there... Can I finagle a way that I can yell at the crewmates to move or to at least duck and cover before I cast it? Or can I not? Because it's not their turn, they can't move.
I would say that you could yell at them and ready your spell on the chance that they move on their turn. But keep in mind the pirates do go before the crew members.
Yes. Okay, we'll switch it up then. We don't want to sink the ship. Can I try to do something that will hit both of them without causing property damage or hurting the crew? And can it be something icy? Can I see if I have icy powers? Can I Elsa?
Can you Elsa? Okay.
Can I
All right.
let it go?
Oh boy. All right. Okay. Sure. I will say roll 3d8.
Oh, just automatically? Like no
Yep.
no 20s?
Just roll 3d8.
Oh, gorgeous. Alright. Do well. 9 to 11.
11?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna say, as you kind of focus in on these last two pirates and you reach out and you kind of reach for that more like icy kind of feeling, this almost like bluey purple aura of a skeletal hand shoots from yours and wraps its bony fingers around one of the pirates' necks. And you just see it kind of snap. And the pirate falls dead.
Icy snap. Oh! Dorian's hands. What is this called? What is this spell?
It is chill touch.
Whew.
It is your cantrip.
Oh,
it
it's
is
a
effective.
cantrip?
It is effective.
Oh my god, that's so broken. I love it.
No, chill touch is one of the cantrips of all time. True.
I love that.
Agreed.
Oh, phenomenal.
All right. So, next on the list is Nisha.
Nisha wants that pirate to be hers, so she's going to bob and weave between the crew members so that no one is injured, and she's just going to try to push her katana through the chest of the individual in front of her.
Sounds good. Roll your attack.
16 to hit
16 will hit.
for 7 points of slashing damage.
Okay. Do you want to go again?
She sure does. Just like, same idea. She now, like, the katana is in the individual. She's just going to try to bring it to the floor.
Okay.
For a... Oh, it's only 15 this time to hit.
Oh,
Does 15 hit?
15 is not going to hit.
Oh, so her katana is just stuck in the torso of this individual.
You can't get it out.
But,
It's stuck in the chest
However-
cavity.
It's a hefty belt buckle in the way.
however, I do want you to roll again and tell me if it's a higher number.
It is, this time it's 17. Not by much.
17 is going to hit.
Do you perchance have the feat lucky?
Perhaps.
Do we have feats? I didn't know we were doing feats.
Well, at least I did critical damage that time. 8 points of damage.
8 points. All right, that'll do it. How do you want to do this?
You see when Nisha initially pushes the katana through the chest of the pirate and pushes down and it hits that belt buckle, she has this moment of like clarity where she like hooks it to the right and then same idea, just completely brings it to the floor, splintering the individual in front of her.
Amazing. And because you are basically cauterizing the individual as you cut him, there's no blood that goes anywhere.
And then you just watch her very smoothly put her katana back in the sheath and then just kind of survey the ship.
Guys, we're so badass. I love this. Stoked.
I have learned so much.
I want to know what my AC and my hit points are. That's my stressor. I should have let myself get hit just like one time.
Yeah. Or a bunch of times until you passed out.
No, didn't want to do that. No save throws, please.
All right. So for a moment, there's just a dead silence across the deck of the ship as everyone kind of regains their breath and kind of looks at each other, sees if anybody is in dire need of healing or medical attention. And then they all start cheering. And a couple of them actually come up to you guys and kind of like clap your shoulders or offer their hands to shake. And they're like, wow! You should have told us you guys were, like, amazing at this.
Solene's gonna shake many a hand and then do a little twirl and then bow very deeply, skirt flared out like big curtsy. Say, it was nothing.
Question. Can everybody see the Guardian?
Yes, everyone can see the Guardian, and they are giving it an extremely wide berth. And if you leave it, this Guardian can last for up to 8 hours.
Oh, wow.
I say to some of the sailors that are like coming up, like, you know, it's the least we could do for y'all providing this passage for us. I mean, you know, we're not going to be some layabouts. If the ship's under attack, we're going to chip in.
Well, wait. Like, we didn't expect you to be that good. That's amazing. Like, oh, we shouldn't have charged you anything. Hey, Captain, give them back their coin. What's going on here?
Don't even worry about it. You keep it. Don't worry about it. Don't even stress.
Yeah, but we couldn't possibly. I much appreciate it. And hey, you know, maybe if we can work out a sort of a free return ticket, that would be lovely. But no. We paid you. We were fair and square. No need to give us back our cash.
Please, it's no trouble.
I'm gonna say make a deception check, but with advantage.
Oh yes, because I am definitely helping. We got ourselves into this mess. We gotta get ourselves out.
Oh boy, ourselves out exactly.
Team effort.
Well, I rolled a 24 and a 24, so it's
okay. All right, sounds good. So they're like, if you guys need a ride back, let us know. We'll hang around. You guys, free rides anytime. At least if we're coming this way. Yeah.
Much appreciated. You know, you're a good sort here. You got a good operation. What's your name? I say to the person I was talking to.
Oh, my name's Jared. I usually man the crow's nest.
Well, Jared, thanks for keeping the ship safe. Thanks for keeping lookout. I know it's not easy up there with all the crows and all, but as long as you keep your eye from getting pecked out, I trust you'll make on just fine.
I appreciate that, and glad to have you aboard. Glad to know our last day of travel is going to be extra safe. I don't think any pirates are going to mess with us after. And he looks over at this giant, like, glowing guardian standing in the middle of the ship after seeing that thing. Is that going to hurt us?
Nia kind of has, like, slowly gotten up and, like, brushed off her knees and, like, looks and goes, and she looks at it and she's like, thanks for the help. I think you can go now?
And you just see it kind of raises its sword for a moment and then dissipates into particles of light until it is vanished.
Nisha would like to check the pockets of the pirates in front of her.
Okay. Make an investigation.
Oh, can I help and go and check some as well, like following suit?
Sure. If you guys want to just all make an investigation check for a couple pirates each.
Yeah. Let's see if they have any, like, orders or something specific.
That's on nat 20. I'm keeping this guy for the night,
Ooh,
y'all.
now.
So 24 total.
13.
So natural 20 for 24.
Okay.
And it's a 17 for Nisha.
Okay.
Farron got an 11 for searching.
Okay. So I am going to say in total, you guys managed to find 12 gold, 16 copper, and you also do find a bracelet that is it's like a gold bangle heavily encrusted with gems all around it.
Can I put it on?
Well, I'd say Nia, having been the one that rolled a natural 20, would have been the one to find it. So you'd have to double check with her.
Nia, darling, can I detect magic and then put it on?
I mean, does there seem like there can I sense if there's anything going on with the bracelet?
It, like, just kind of focusing in on it, you don't really sense anything. It looks like a bracelet.
I think it's just a bracelet, Celine.
Just want to see, just in case. You never know what treasures the world might hold.
Yeah, sure, you can check it out.
Can I cast detect magic?
Okay, so you detect magic, focusing in on this bracelet in specific.
Mm-hmm.
It is not magical.
Okay.
But you do get the sense that it may potentially go for a pretty price in the right hands.
Okay.
You know, I've been told that sailors, pirates especially, they'll carry opulent jewelry on them. So if they die at sea and their body washes up somewhere or another, whoever finds them can sell off the jewelry and give them a proper funeral. But these guys tried to rob us, so maybe we dump them overboard. I don't know. What's the consensus?
I agree. I think we should dump them overboard, but Nia, it's not magical of any sort, so I give it back to you and you enjoy it.
Thanks for checking it out. Make sure it's, not gonna kill anybody or anything.
I didn't want it to be cursed.
And with the mention of dumping the bodies overboard, Farron, you do see that the crew has already started to do just that.
So you guys are way ahead of me. I mean, I suppose you do this sort of stuff all the time. Let me give you a hand. And I start helping them unceremoniously sort of dump these bodies off into the
I'll
ocean.
help
Okay.
Nisha follows suit to help.
All right.
We're all
sounds good.
dumping bodies.
You guys are all terrible.
Team bonding.
Can I also ask really quick, what was the thing that I did that disappeared that pirate go poof?
Oh, it was banishment.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
just keep that in mind, because
So that pirate is on another plane now.
yeah, but
I don't know where I sent him.
are you still holding it? Because if you don't hold it, he's coming back.
Well, okay, is he going to come back on the ship, or is he going to come back, a couple nautical miles back?
It's a very good point.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be a couple nautical miles back.
Oh yeah, then I release it.
In
He can
midair,
drown
and
at
then
sea.
right into the water.
All right, so
Oh my god.
you release it, and you
Can
hear
I
this.
watch?
Yeah. It's like you just see this person appear into midair, and he's kind of like looking around, and then just drops right into the water.
Very cartoon-like.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna wave back. Good luck. I hope you're a strong swimmer.
All right.
People talking about the blip in Endgame.
It's just like one of those glitches where like your character can't move, but the thing is still going, and then as soon as it regains, it's like, crap.
Yeah.
It's just like Endgame for real, because like imagine all those like people that were on shipping containers, and then they got snapped, and then 5 years later there isn't a boat, and they just fall into the water and die.
Pretty much. That's actually very sad.
Yeah.
Like
way
in a
to
plane.
go! Way to go, Iron Man!
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that too. Or like a plane.
Yeah.
Hey, blame where blame is due. It was the Hulk.
Yeah.
so true.
Anyways, moving on. All right. Is there?
Sorry.
No, it's all good. It's just we got a lot to get through. So, is there anything else you guys would like to do, or are we okay with moving on?
How many hours of nighttime is there left?
Well, it is coming up on dawn. So I'd say like maybe half an hour.
I'm gonna go and take the opportunity of a half an hour nap.
Okay. I'm still gonna say, like, regardless, you guys did go to bed a little early, so you did get your full 8 hours of rest. So you got your long rest regardless. But if you do want your extra half hour of nap, you can go do that.
She needs her beauty sleep.
All right.
Can Nisha gauge with the 9 points of damage, like, if she's still feeling pretty good, or if that hurt a lot more than she thinks it should?
To be honest, the 9 points of damage, you barely felt. It was just like, okay, whatevs. Brush it off.
A scratch.
Yeah, 'tis but a scratch.
Thank you! A plague on both your houses.
All right. So, this is your last day of journey, at least at sea. So, I need somebody to roll a d20.
Who wants to do the honors?
I can do it.
Yeah, you can. This is gonna be
Yeah,
amazing.
hopefully it still stays good. That was bad. I jinxed it.
Oh no.
It was a 3.
A 3. Okay.
Damn it.
Roll a d6.
Did we get washed up in a storm?
6.
6. Okay. All right. Sounds good. So the rest of the trip is extremely stormy. You do have like large waves, and the ship does rock side to side a few times to the point where you're like, we're gonna capsize. This is it. We're all gonna drown. This is fine. But you do make it to Zelteriki Port on Vestierg Island. A little seasick, but otherwise fine.
Slightly damp.
Yeah, very damp. So you guys easily dock. You guys aren't really met by anyone. You kind of just take your time getting off the ship, saying your goodbyes to the crew and the friends that you have made over the journey here. But as you step into Zelteriki Port, you do notice that the demographic has changed quite significantly between even just Kiltier Port. Here, there's actually very, very little humans. Like, if anything, the only humans that you kind of see are anyone who's come over on ship. Majority of the races here tend to be, from what you can tell, whatever race Nisha is, as well as dwarves, and potentially something that looks like merfolk.
Okay, I was just about to ask because, coming from another dimension and all.
So, and the actual like port here is very, I'd say almost like very medievalish. Like, everything is kind of like straw huts. There's only a few like bigger places that are made of stone. Everything is a little bit more outdated in comparison to the mainland, where everything is usually typically made of stone or clay, or even like wood. Most of this is kind of almost like log cabins with like the straw thatch roofs.
Does everybody kind of look like they're just like milling about and about their business, or can I scan the area to see if there's like any shady looking sorts of people?
Sure. Make a perception check.
I would love to do that. Oh, okay, yes, I know. 13.
13. Okay. So majority of the people around here are kind of just going about their business. Most of them, from what you can see here, are actually conducting business. A lot of them are trading, buying, selling. Most of it seems to be either or like sea goods such as fish, kelp, things like that. Anything that comes from the sea that is worth something. So a lot of different like food types and things like that. And you do see that there also is a bit of wood trade as well. But most of it seems to be centered around like ores, like iron, gold, silver, things like that.
Well, shall we try to make our way to the mountain?
Yeah, let's head towards Niev.
Do we know how to get there, or should we perhaps...
Hire a guide of some kind?
Precisely.
Oh, I have no idea how to get there. Guide sounds like a good plan.
Nisha, do we know... Pardon me. Do we know what you are?
The gentleman in the port previous called my people the core.
The core. I didn't realize that was a race of people.
To be honest, I don't remember anything yet. It's just based on that gentleman's prejudicial statements.
Right. Well, maybe that's not the proper name. I think maybe we should get a second opinion just so we can avoid saying, something that it could potentially be misinterpreted.
I don't really want us to just go up to someone and say, "Hi, what are you?" Because that doesn't feel very good. And
No, and we don't want to approach them and say a slur to their face either. I think that's something to be avoided.
I'm not quite sure how best to go about this.
Well, I think we probably wouldn't want to be with Nisha because that may look a little strange if we're standing right next to someone who would presumably know who they are.
But it'll look strange then to very much insult someone.
I want you to make a perception check.
Absolutely. I don't know if you actually want me to. That's gonna be a 6. I'm very concerned about inadvertently saying something highly offensive, and my eyes are not as perceptive as usual.
All right. As you guys are standing around talking about this, you don't hear him come up until he's grabbed Nisha's arm and kind of spun her around. Nisha, what are you doing here?
Can I go up and get in this guy's face and like release him from Nisha? Like take his grip and just like get in between and be like, do not have the audacity to deign to touch my friend.
Okay. Sure. I'm gonna say roll a strength check.
I don't know what that is. I'm pretty weak, aren't I? I'm a sorceress. Please be good.
Mm-hmm.
12, I don't know, what's my strength?
0.
Okay, 12.
Okay, well, he rolled a 5.
Oh,
so
phenomenal.
yes, he does let go of Nisha's arm. But as you're looking at him and he's looking back at you completely stunned that you would dare touch him, you notice very similar markings as Nisha's. He's a little bit taller than her, but still that kind of pale blue skin, white markings along the face and chest. And he's kind of wearing a little bit more kind of, I guess, put together clothing than a lot of the other people that you've kind of noticed walking around the port. His clothes are made of the same black and gold trimming that Nisha wears, but they're a little bit more higher end, made of beautiful silks and heavy cottons. And he is wearing a dark blue sash across his chest, and at his hip is same array as what Nisha carries, is one very long katana looking sword and a shorter styled one. And silver white hair is kind of cropped close to his skull, in like a faux hawk kind of thing where the sides are shaved and it's a little bit longer down the center.
I'm gonna stand firm and be like, how dare you touch my friend? That's the sentiment. Just gonna glare.
He's just staring back in absolute shock, like looking between you and Nisha.
Look, we don't want any trouble or any kind of situation here. Do you know Nisha?
Of course I know Nisha. She's my sister.
Oh, well, now I feel very awkward, and I'm gonna, bow and sidestep. Okay. Many apologies. But you shouldn't just
We had
grab
a very
people, you know.
rough trip.
Right.
Nisha, upon hearing him say brother, she's going to step forward. This isn't going to sound well. But after I left, something happened to me, and I am missing a substantial part of my memory. Yourself included. I am terribly sorry.
I'd have to say something is definitely wrong with your brain if you deem it worthy coming back here.
I need to face the trial.
The trial. Trial of Heko? You? Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's real funny, Nisha.
The best jokes are the ones you have to explain. So I'm ready to laugh as soon as you walk us through it.
He looks to you, Farron, and then back to Nisha, and then looks around. Well, not here. Too many listening ears. Let's go. Follow me. And he just turns on his heel and starts walking out towards the edge of town.
Nisha's hot on his heels, right behind him.
I'm following Nisha.
I follow in line next to Celine and go, bit rude, isn't he?
Truly, of course I would respond in such a manner if he's going to just grab her.
All right. So he walks for quite a ways outside of town before he even starts to slow his pace to like a little bit more of a casual stroll. And when he finally does stop, you're basically standing on a weathered path, and there is literally nothing but sand around you guys. It's almost like a desert, but not as hot. You can see quite a bit of mountain peaks far, far, far ahead of you. And there are like a couple like sand dunes that kind of roll along to the to your right, but otherwise it is quite the barren wasteland around here. And he doesn't turn, but he does kind of slow his pace so that Nisha can kind of keep next to him. Why have you returned?
Deirdre told me to come back. That this was something I was going to have to face.
You can see the pain in his face as you say her name. You dare kill her and then come back here? What are you trying to do, take her place?
I'm not looking to take anyone's place. Like I said, when I spoke to her, she told me I was going to have to come back and face the trial. And that it wasn't going to be like what she faced.
Well, that's up to Hako, I guess. It's not up to me. Or anyone, I suppose. But, just so you know, nobody's going to be happy to see you.
That tends to happen a lot with this group.
Can you tell me something? Or do you not remember?
I can try to answer what you ask, but I quite genuinely don't remember a lot.
Well, no sense in... No hurting in trying, I suppose. Did you really kill Deirdre?
I don't think I did. And the only reason I say that is she's now visited me twice and tried to pave my way for success. I truly don't believe she would come to stand before me and give me advice if I was the cause of her demise.
Yeah. I didn't think so either. You and her, well, you are inseparable. Didn't make any sense when everybody said you killed her.
My party member, and Nisha gestures for Celine to step up, saw her in a dream, a vision, and she was falling.
Yes, I did. She came to me in a vision as well. And I saw her fall off the mountain into the ocean and she drowned. So I can only assume that's how she died. And I am very sorry for your loss.
Well, we've got a bit of a way to go. If you got any questions, I suppose I can answer what I can.
Can we start with your name?
Oh, my name's Declan.
Pleasure to meet you. Sorry about the grabbing you back there. Just very protective of my friends.
Not gonna lie, I'm actually kind of surprised to see Nisha has some friends. It's nice.
Well, we're happy to have her.
You can visually see Nisha's getting like a little bit like she's not used to this attention, nor does she crave this attention, so it like makes her like visually uncomfortable for everyone to be talking about her as if she's not there.
Declan's gonna just put a hand on your shoulder and kind of chuckle.
Declan, I am sorry I've forgotten you.
Well, it may be for the best. I mean, you didn't really leave here at the greatest terms. So...
Can we ask, without this sounding horribly insensitive and awful, can we ask, what race are you guys? We haven't been able to decipher a lot about who we are. We've all gone through the memory thing. So, if you would, be comfortable answering.
He looks over at you and kind of gives a small chuckle. Why, we're the Mountain Corps.
Lovely.
Any other slightly offensive questions you have to ask?
No, I'll do my best not to ask any offensive questions.
He gives you a smile that tells you he's just teasing.
I'll smile back.
All right. So, as you guys walk on, there's the wind kind of picks up a bit, kind of blows the sand across you, the road, as well as around you as well, and it starts to get a little bit uncomfortable. And you see Declan kind of stop for a moment and take his pack off, and he pulls out a cloak. And for a moment, it looks like he's going to put it on himself. And then he looks up at you, Nisha, and hands it up to you. This'll help. Take it.
Thank you, Declan. She adjusts the cloak about her and puts her hand back on his shoulder. Genuinely, despite what anyone else thinks of me, thank you for your kindness.
Yeah, well, wasn't the greatest to you when you were here. Kind of felt bad for it. At least now I get a chance to make it up. You are my little sister, after all.
The village, what do they say about me? So that I can prepare myself as well as my companions here.
Well, there's a lot, really. There's first the issue they think you killed Daedra. That didn't really go over at all too well. And then there's also the issue of the mark you got. Was supposed to be Hako's if you were to take his trial, but, well, it looks like Hako's, but wasn't given to you by him. So that's another issue. They think you betrayed them in some way.
Did I ever confide in you where it came from?
No. But, didn't need to in order to know. We all know Hako's mark very well. It's always been given to the Grand Matron, or at least next in line for. And, when Deirdre passed and you got yours, well, we knew it wasn't Hako's.
I'm sorry, this is a lot to take in. The marks are for the matron of the village, and I have them, but they are not put on by an elder of our village. Am I understanding correctly?
Sorta. Hako's the god.
Oh. Well, that's a big deal to forget.
Just a little. Hako is the god of the core. We've worshipped him for, well, ages, really. For next in line to be Grand Matron to not get his mark is kind of a big deal.
Do you know why I left the village initially? Deirdre's side?
I think it was a few things, really. I don't know for sure. Never really told me. But, well, I know you were pretty pissed off about the fact that the saint would dare give you her mark instead of allowing Hako. And, well, after what happened to Deirdre, no one would really talk to you, so I think it was a bit of both.
Was I close to anyone in the village that might have some insight?
A secret husband, perhaps? Secret wife? Secret partner of some sort?
Nisha? No, definitely not. You were Deirdre's little leech, and that was about it.
Is there anything else I should prepare myself for that might be unsavory before we reach the village?
Well, don't know if you're even going to be allowed to stay.
I'd like to do the trial as soon as possible. If my staying in the village is not acceptable, I can move on straight away.
Sure, except my understanding of it is that Hako chooses when your trial is, not you.
Oh. Will you be able to show me how to reach out to the gods and see if they respond?
Not me, no. That's the Grand Matron for you. You'll have to talk to Mum.
Do you think she'll talk to me?
She might have to. I don't think she really has a choice. Especially if Deirdre sent you.
Perhaps if I may, I do have the ability to sort of go into people's minds. Perhaps if I show her the truth of what Deirdre showed me, and prove to her that Nisha was not involved in her death in any capacity, perhaps that might smooth things over?
I don't think it will. You gotta understand the core are very stubborn folk. Once we got something in our head, it's a little hard to get it out.
Even when faced with the truth?
Took me a long time to accept what happened. Honestly, I thought I'd be pissed when I saw Nisha here, but couldn't be. So, it's hard to say how the rest of the core will react.
You know, Nisha, of course, my village wasn't exactly accepting of me when I showed my face at the gates, but people, they took me in anyways. I think if I've learned anything, it's that even if you feel like you've done damage that is irreparable, if people still care about you, they're not going to be unhurt, but they're going to make space and they're going to make time for you to at least make your case. They're going to try to understand you and where you came from and what you're going through. And I mean, Declan here is doing just that, and we can only hope that the rest of your folks will extend to you the same grace and understanding that he is.
Thank you, Farron. Though this is uncomfortable, I feel very grateful for you all to stand by my side. Alright, Declan, let's go home.
Alright, so you guys travel for the better part of the day. When you set foot into Zeltera Keyport, it was already probably about late afternoon. And by the time that night falls here, it's gotten quite chilly, though the wind has stopped, and there isn't a cloud in the sky, giving you a absolutely stunning view of the stars above that litter every space of the sky. And Declan kind of turns and looks at you and asks, well, it's only about an hour or so from here. Do you want to keep going, or do you want to stop and go in the morning when everyone will be awake?
It's up to you, Nisha. How do you want to enter your village?
I think I would like to face it head on, broad daylight, so that they will see me coming and we can address how they feel about me not sneaking in the middle of the night. That doesn't leave the best of impressions.
He just nods and starts going about setting up camp, setting up his tent, and so the rest of you guys follow suit. You guys set up camp, And the night goes by uneventful. It is a little cold, but otherwise it is peaceful. There's a little bit of wind every now and then, and you can kind of hear the sounds of a few birds, as well as some other wildlife, such as lizards that scurry by, a couple snakes. But other than that, it is peaceful.
And we've had a long rest, so we have all of our spells back?
Yes.
Gorgeous.
Also, as you sleep, Nia. So, you open your eyes, and for a moment you panic. You're back in that same black cavernous room that you had first woken up in. But this time, your companions are with you, fighting a dark force that looms just beyond the edge of the platform that you guys had been on. And you try to help them, but you're stuck. You can't move. And you watch helplessly as a blast of dark energy shoots out from this figure, sending your 3 companions scattering across the ground. Laughter booms around you. You dare challenge me? Challenge fate, little fragments. You know what power is. The figure turns to Celine as she rises back to her feet, shrinking down to more of a human size as its dark form curls around her. Celine, I really must thank you for delivering the saints to me. You and your companions have done a splendid job in your roles to bring about my return. You watch on, frozen, as Celine is unable to fight against this dark figure. And for a moment, you're not sure what's going to happen. And then it moves to Nisha, curling around her for a moment. Poor little mortals, always trying to tamper with things they do not understand. And then it moves to Farron, and the figure stops at his side and places what it looks to possibly be a hand on his shoulder. But this figure doesn't really have any kind of defining features. It is all a shame about your homes. Such a tragedy, just to get you to follow the saint. Well, no matter. It all worked out in the end. And you wake up, breathing heavily.
Secret villains!
Is anyone else awake?
No, nobody else is awake. Everybody else is still asleep, although it probably is nearing dawn from the looks of the amount of light kind of coming over the mountain peaks.
Oh my god, I don't know what to do.
Dude, it said that I didn't!
Nia's just gonna kind of sit there in shock. She just really doesn't know what to do. She's just trying to process through what she just saw in her dream and trying to figure out what it means.
Okay. Dawn eventually comes, and the rest of you wake from your slumber. Declan is already sitting outside, a bit of a fire already stoked, and he's got what looks to be a couple eggs and a few pieces of bacon that are already cooking in a iron pan over the fire. Good morning, Nisha. How'd you sleep?
If I'm honest, my nerves got the best of me. Not the greatest sleep, though I did sleep for at least a little bit.
It's gonna be a long day, that's for sure.
And you, Declan, how did you sleep?
Not really used to sleeping on the road, to be 100% honest, but wasn't the worst.
Thank you for making that sacrifice so that didn't feel like you were sneaking in an intruder.
It's not a problem. I kind of agree with the sentiment. So, shall we move on then?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, the rest of you, what are you getting up? What's going on?
Oh yeah, Soline's just gonna saunter out and greet the morning, go over and say, I'll trade you a piece of bacon for half of an apple.
I can do that.
And she hands over half of an apple, and she takes a piece of bacon, and she eats breakfast.
All right. Also, point of reference, since you did have a long rest, Soline, what phase of the moon are you taking?
I'm gonna do a new moon.
Okay.
Farron kind of has been up for a while. Elves only needing to trance for a short period and whatnot, and comes up snacking on a ration and looking very, very jealously at Declan's delicious breakfast, but doesn't say anything.
You want a piece? And he kind of holds out the pan to you.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I got more.
Thank you. And I sort of gingerly take an egg and eat the egg.
With your hands.
Yeah. There's
yeah.
nothing else.
Yep.
Nia, what are you doing?
Nia had already been outside, not being able to go back to sleep, and was just kind of staring into the woods, not too far off from everybody, just kind of like staring out at the landscape and kind of like fiddling, like picking at her fingers like nervously.
Can I notice?
Yeah, I'd say you notice. You're pretty perceptive of her.
Okay. I'm gonna walk over with a quarter of an apple and hand it to Nia and say, "What's going on? You seem to be a little bit perturbed this morning."
As soon as she says something, Nia just kind of jumps away from her and is like, morning.
Morning. Did you not sleep well?
Yeah, just cold. Just a little cold.
Can I see if she's lying? Can I insight?
Sure. Make an insight check.
I shall.
Nia, if
Do I
you
roll deception?
Yeah, I was gonna say if you'd like to roll deception.
And that is 14 plus 5.
I do not have my deception.
Okay, so Nia, your deception modifier is going to be a +5.
So I rolled an 11, so 16.
And I rolled a 14 plus 5 for a 19.
Okay, so you would notice that she's not being entirely truthful. You're not entirely sure about what she's worried over, but there's definitely something that has kind of shaken her a little bit.
Yeah, I'd like to think that we're closer than for you to be dishonest with me in such a way. But I won't press you. But know that you can talk to me about anything. And whatever worries you, I will shoulder that burden beside you.
I know, nothing's wrong. I'm okay. Just didn't sleep well.
Alright. At least come and have some proper breakfast.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
And I'm gonna give you a quarter of an apple.
She takes it.
Okay. So you come over. Declan does offer you either an egg or a piece of bacon, whichever you prefer to take.
Nia will take a piece of bacon.
All right. And then he hands the last egg and the last piece of bacon to you, Nisha. And then he packs down camp. He's like, all right, well, like I said, we got about an hour and a bit, so we should get going.
After you.
Okay, so you guys take the chance to kind of pack down your stuff, get ready for the day, and you guys continue to make your way towards wherever it is that Declan is taking you. And true to his word, about an hour and a half later, you guys find yourself coming up to the edge of these large mountain peaks. And you can hear the ocean just a little bit off to your left. You can hear the waves kind of lapping against the either the cliffs or the beach itself. And you can see that while a lot of the homes have kind of been carved into the base of these mountains, there are still a few like buildings and huts that are kind of structured just a little bit a ways from the actual mountains themselves. You probably can tell that from the looks of it, it looks like a little bit more of like the communal spaces are out in these huts, whereas like individual homes are more like carved into the mountains themselves. And as you get closer, you do start to notice quite a bit of core that are kind of going about their day. All of them look very similar to Nisha and Declan. Silvery white hair, that kind of soft bluish gray skin with the white markings. And each of them are wearing there's a few that are wearing very nice silks, and there's quite a few that just wear a little bit more of like a heavy cotton clothing wise, but each of them are very intricately decorated. So there's a lot of like dark blues, blacks, golds, purples, little bit more of like the jewel tone kind of colors in these cottons and silks, and the way that they're structured is a little bit more simple but also elegant. And they all turn as they see you guys approach, and for a moment they come towards you, and then they stop.
Are they all kind of like blocking us from walking further into the village?
Not necessarily. There are like there are a few that have like kind of come closer to kind of see who is coming. They see Declan and they kind of give a little bit of a wave, but as they look at the rest of you, they instantly kind of changed their posture.
Should we ask to see the matron, or should we just go through? You take the lead, Nisha and Declan. Should we proceed?
Let's find Mother, Declan. As she says, like, the straightest posture, eyes trained directly in front of her, like she does not want to acknowledge the discomfort on the face of those around her.
Declan doesn't say anything, but he does, like, reach out to ask for your hand.
Nisha takes his hand.
Okay. And he leads you through the village, and everyone stops what they're doing to look on as you guys pass through. They don't move, they don't sneer, they don't like come towards you or any indication that they bear you any ill will, but they just stop and stare as you walk by. But Declan pays them no mind, and brings you to one of the larger wood and straw huts that are closer to the base of the mountain here, and brings you inside. Mom, you'll never guess who I found. And this older looking core, you can definitely see like she's definitely bearing her age. She looks to be a little bit more towards her 80s. And you can see like she's starting to get the fine lines in the forehead and around the eyes, and she's got the more of like the marionette lines in the jowls there. And she's a little bit hunched over and uses a cane to walk. And she turns and she looks.
Nisha instinctively squeezes Declan's hand just a little bit harder, just for affirmation that she's experiencing this.
He gives you a quick squeeze back and then lets go of your hand. Mom? Nisha's here. She's got some questions. Apparently she lost her memories or something. Thought maybe you'd help. And you can see the woman says nothing, but just looks at you. And then sits down and motions for you to do the same.
Nisha steps forward and sits down, staring at the woman in front of her.
Why are you here? Why have you returned?
Deirdre told me I needed to come face the trial.
Of course she did. You were her favorite. Well, I can't deny you, but I can't encourage you. You abandoned your clan, but that is Hako's choice, and he will give you his right if he so chooses.
And how do I begin to see if I'm chosen?
I can help with that. It will have to be a little later. I have to prepare. And she looks up at Declan and nods her head. And he leaves the hut, leaving you guys with this Grand Matron. So, you've lost your memories, have you?
Unfortunately.
How convenient. First, you take off, swearing to avenge Deirdre. And then you come back with the one that you were supposed to kill next to you. Quite the turn of events, if you ask me. So which is it?
We didn't ask. Fate misfortuned us all. None of us remember. And supposed to kill. Nisha looks over her shoulders at Farron, Solene, and Nia. These people help me get back to you. Why on earth would I wish them harm? I genuinely don't remember a thing, Matron.
Let me set the record straight, then. Deirdre was chosen for her right, and you followed her. You weren't supposed to, but you did anyway. And out of concern for you, she fell to her death during that rite. And then you thought maybe you would make it right by taking her place as the next in line for the Grand Matron. Hako did not choose you. Instead, it was the saint. And so you abandoned your clan to make the saint pay for ruining your chances. And yet the saint sits next to you.
Is Nia a goddess?
Do you say that out loud?
Yes, actually I do. I'm gonna look and like see if she was like looking at which one of us, but like looking around. Soline's a bit. Is Nia a goddess? Is Nia the saint?
Nasha Tanya is the saint, but she is no goddess. Only the vessel of.
Nia is the vessel of the goddess.
Yes.
And what do you mean she ruined my chances? I can no longer do the rites because I was marked by the saint?
That is correct. Without the mark of Hako, you cannot complete your rite.
Is there any way we can undo the marking of the saint and have Nisha take the mark of Hako?
Not unless the saint is to die.
Can it not be a polytheistic sort of situation where two or more gods can claim an individual in their service?
There has never been such a sharing of the vessel, if you must put it that way.
But that doesn't mean that there couldn't be.
Precisely, yes.
Tradition is sometimes meant to be changed.
We will see. It may be that Hako is still willing to bestow his mark. Once I start the ritual, if it is successful, then Hako will give Nisha her right. If he does not deem her worthy because of the saint's mark on her, then that is his choice.
It is worth a try.
Reasonable enough.
And Declan comes back into the hut at this point, and he's carrying a bit of incense, and behind him follow two more that look very similar to him as well. And they are also carrying, one is carrying a beautifully carved golden bowl, and the other is carrying a few extra, it looks like a sack with some stuff in it. What it is, you're not 100% sure, but it looks heavy. And they lay it out in front of the Grand Matron, and with a small bow, retreat out of the tent again. Well then, if you are prepared to take that chance, then I will not stop you. I must admit, I am quite curious to see if Hako still sees you worthy after everything you've done. And as she's speaking, she's taking the golden bowl. Wow, I can talk. This is fine. Taking the golden bowl and emptying the contents of the sack, which you can now see are bones, into the bowl. And then taking the incense and kind of setting it within. And with but a look, the incense ignites and smoke starts to fill the room. This rite is to be taken by Nisha alone. I will ask that the rest of you step out until this is finished.
Of course. Yeah.
Solene's gonna go and squeeze Nisha's shoulder, give her like a really, you've got this, kill it kind of nod and smile, and then walk out.
Farron's gonna walk past Nisha and put his hand on her shoulder and say, "Good luck. I know you can do it."
Thank you.
Nia has kind of like a pain look on her face as she walks by and just quietly, "Good luck."
Thank you, Nia.
So, the Grand Matron waits for the rest of the party to leave and then turns to you, Nisha. And she picks up the golden bowl and kind of waves it in front of your face so that you have no choice but to inhale the smoke. And then she starts to speak in a language that sounds familiar, but you're having a hard time kind of understanding it with how quickly she's speaking. And instinctually, you close your eyes, and for a moment, all you can hear are her words. And then you hear the wind outside the hut as it blows by. And then you hear the skittering of some animals. And then your senses extend, and you can hear the wind above the mountaintops and the roar of the ocean as it crashes upon the shore. And you open your eyes and you're standing at the shoreline, looking out over the sea. I need you to make a perception check.
Alright. Just to double check, my modifier for that is a -2, isn't it?
For perception?
For perception, yeah.
No, perception is +2.
Oh, +2. I wrote that down incorrectly. Good thing I double checked. So 16.
16. Okay. As you open your eyes, you catch just out of the corner movement, and you whip your head, and you swear you just saw Deirdre walk behind some rocks along the shoreline.
I follow her.
Okay. So, you go to where you could have sworn you saw her disappear behind, and as you kind of round around the corner, she's standing there looking at you with a bright smile. And then she looks up, and you kind of follow her gaze, and you realize that this mountainside looks very familiar. Perhaps you saw it in a dream.
Are we climbing again?
She doesn't say anything, but her smile widens a little bit, and she turns and begins to climb.
Nisha follows suit. She begins to climb.
Okay, so there's going to be a series of dexterity checks to see if you can reach the top.
Okay.
So it is going to get harder as you go. So roll the first d20 and add your dexterity modifier.
12 plus 2 for 14.
14. Okay, so that is a pass for this part of the journey. Deirdre is always a little bit ahead of you, but never necessarily out of reach per se. It's almost like if you really wanted to, you could reach up and touch her, but at the same time, she almost feels just out of reach. And as you're climbing, all of the emotions and memories kind of start to come back, and you remember this dream where you saw her fall, and despite that, you You always saw her smiling at you, and you know she doesn't blame you. And if anything, you just want to continue and make her proud. You need to reach that top. Roll your next dexterity check.
Not great. Only a 10.
Is that with the...
With my +2. So it was an 8 + 2 for 10.
Okay. As that emotion kind of takes hold of you, your hand slips. And for half a second, you're like, oh God, I am going to fall as well. And then you feel a hand grab yours. And you look up, and Deidre's got your hand, and she's smiling. I know you can do it. Keep going. And she puts your hand back against the cliff, and you continue climbing with her. Make your next dexterity check.
16 + 2 for 18.
18. Okay. So, knowing that Deirdre has got you kind of fills you with that sense of hope again, that sense of self-worth, the I need to get this done, I need to do this. And you keep going. And for a moment, you're starting to slow down because, oh my gosh, you've been climbing for a little while now, and the wind is starting, or the air is starting to get a little thin as you come up to the peak. But you reach up and realize you've made it to the top. And you kind of take a second to look around, and from here you can see for miles. You can see the main continent of Mirdone from which you came not just a day ago, and you can see the small little village at the base of the mountains here. And Deirdre comes up beside you, and she puts a hand on your shoulder, and she's like, I knew you could do it. I knew you had what it takes.
I'm sorry, Deidre. I couldn't have done this without you.
Don't be sorry. This is how it was meant to be. And her form slowly fades away, leaving behind the image of a large male dressed in armor with dark skin and bright, almost golden hazel eyes looking at you. For a moment, he kind of just says nothing. And then he grabs the sword from your waist. The katana. The phoenix blade. Why did you climb?
I had something to prove, not only to myself, but to my people. And for Deidre. I feel like I have a lot to prove.
So now that you've proven yourself, what comes next?
To right the wrongs that have plagued not only my people, but my fellow companions and friends.
And what wrongs would those be?
Lives taken, people misplaced, our memories are gone. And I feel like there's something nefarious behind that, though I can't place my finger on it. There's a darkness that we need to stop. And we know we cannot do it on our own.
He nods and looks at the sword that he's taken from you, and he pulls it from its sheath, and it ignites like it's supposed to. But this time, the flames are brighter, bigger, and he holds it out for you. Then take up my sword, and I shall help if that is your true purpose and your true intentions.
You have my word and my actions. May they speak louder than my words. As Nisha puts her hands out to accept the blade.
Okay. So, as you grab hold of the blade, the fire that engulfs it spreads to you, and for a moment you kind of go to jerk back, but the flames don't burn. In fact, they're not even hot. And they kind of just settle over you like a comforting blanket. And as quickly as they took hold of you, they go out. And the image of Hako nods, and then his form scatters across the wind, and you are left to the top of the mountains by yourself. But you now have your fragment. And that is where we're going to end tonight.